property. And so we got to talking, and cash, he wanted a certain amount. And so our cash number wouldn't work. And so then brought me to terms. We talked about seller finance, and he was really open to it. He was like, hey, I'll seller finance all 3 condo units to you if you found me a single family property I could move into. And so I was like, okay. So I wrote down my notes. And so they're all rented out right now. He has tenants in all 3 of them. He owns all 3 of them free and clear. And yeah, so I was like, does that make sense? Like, what if like we found him a sub 2 deal where it had like a low entry and low interest rate, and then he seller financed all 3 condo units? I mean, does something like that make sense? Or I don't know.
I mean, at a high level, it does. Yeah. The numbers, we have to underwrite it and check, the numbers.
Yeah,
What is
that was,
he?
so right now it's just a prospect. I just talked to him maybe 10 minutes ago. Yeah.
Are those all paid off? Is that what you said? Did you record the call by chance? Was that on
No,
or your
I
own?
did. And I so wish I did, because I felt like it was one of my best calls that I had. And I always do that. And because I got like a lot out of him. He told me, like, I mean, he really opened up, and he was just telling me, like his whole deal. And they're all renovated and they all look really nice. And he was like fully into talking about seller finance. He was totally open to it. And I wish I did record the call. I didn't. I'm going to get used to doing that though, because I want to improve my phone calls. And yeah.
Yeah. Definitely, whenever you can, like, record them and bring them here. So that's the fastest way to get to, good feedback and get to sharpen your skills. So definitely do that.
I will, for sure. I'm going to my next phone calls. I will record. But yeah, he's super into having the conversation. You're totally right. I haven't underwritten it or run any numbers, but I do have like what he's getting for rent. They're all rented out. He does own all of them free and clear. Oh, well, except one. He pulled a $30,000 loan against a one, but the other 2 are free and clear. He got him for a steal years back, and so he's just like, yeah, open to seller financing all 3 of them. And he was like, hey, is there any way you could find a single family for me? And we could work out the terms, and at a good interest rate and a good numbers where we could cash flow from the condo units that are all rented out. But that's as far as I got on it. And I don't know how to structure that or underwrite something like that. So I was just wanting to reach out and share the.
Bring the like, if you want to bring the details to it next week, kind of get some of those organized, and then we can help underwrite it with you, and then you can go. So the only question I have, and this would be a lot more beneficial if we had the recording, we could like hear it. But so he wants to sell the 3 rental units and get 1 single family that he can move into. Is that what you said?
Correct.
Okay. Where's he living now?
He lives nearby those condo units in like a smaller single family, but he's looking for a new house.
What's going to happen with the single family that he's living in now? Does he own that or rent that?
That I did not gather. I have a phone call set up with him tomorrow, and that's a good question. I should have asked that.
To ask that, because just the more info you guys have, and guys, the more you do it, these questions are going to pop up, right? Your curiosity is going to start peaking, because the thing that, like, Allie and in acquisitions, what we always talk about, I call it past, present, future. Right. So I want to know the past. How did you get these 3 units? How did you end up in this little one, or whatever, this small little single family that you got, whatever? Present. Okay. Why are you presently looking to sell it? What's going on? Oh, you want to get like this one single family. Cool. That's the future. What does that look like? If you're living in this house now, so you got these 3 units, you got this one. So then now you can start to piece the puzzle together holistically. Right. And it's like it all flows. And you're not just like guessing as to what it is. You guys won't know what questions to ask. Nobody does, right? And nobody's born with like this, ingrained in their brain. So the more you do it, the more you realize, like, oh, hey, that would have been a great question. And when you get feedback from one another, you're like, hey, you know what? That's a great point. Or I didn't think of that, or I didn't pick up on that. And that's what speeds up all of all of us, right? The stuff that I've learned is just from hearing other people's calls, including your guys's. Right? As I listen to it, I'm like, oh, that's a great question. Okay, I'm going to remember that, and then it becomes muscle memory over time.
Awesome. Great, Sean. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I will. I'm going to get into the habit of recording the calls, and I have another call tomorrow, so I'll record that one.
Yeah,
Try to
yeah.
explain much
Bring it
information and
here Monday, if you can.
Monday. Okay. Cool. And I can bring in the information too. And yeah, like I mean, if we could make sense of something, I'd love to JV with you guys and make sense of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Allie, I don't know if Allie's in here. She might not be in here tonight. But yeah, get it to Allie, and she's our resident closer. She's locking up deals left and right now. Like,
I'd love. I'm working towards my first deal, so I'm like, I'm on the ground phones all day, so I'm excited.
we got closers in the making here. You got Cody, TJ, Graham. There's a bunch of people in here that are on the verge of being phenomenal closers too. So, since it's your first deal, we'll make sure we give it to somebody that's kicking butt and taking names. Allie's knocking it out of the park right now. She just got I know Nancy just got one. I don't know whose it is or who's the lead manager on it, but she just got on the buyer side, right? We already had it under contract, so it's a deal in Waco, and she got a buyer for it today. So hopefully they'll open up escrow and we move that one. Finally got the paper back, the signed contract back from the 0% deal in Texas we've been working on forever yesterday. So things are picking up momentum on that side for Allie and her team. So super.
Awesome. Thank you, Shad. I absolutely will. I'll make it a habit of recording those calls and look forward to, elaborating them with you guys and improving.
Yeah. Anybody that's not on No Excuses or on, our team for lead management and acquisitions, make sure you find a way to record, your calls, even if you have to maybe turn on like your a microphone or whatever, and you're on your computer, so you're on your phone, but you're actually recording on your computer or whatever. Do whatever it takes, because all we need is the recording, and then we can help you out tremendously.
Awesome, we'll do.
Absolutely. Guys, do we have any other questions? Anything we want to jump into before we jump into? We got a lot of new team members because the call center is expanding quickly right now at this moment. We're bringing on a lot of people, so we have a lot of calls to calibrate for some of the newer team members. Any questions? Anybody got anything before we roll into it? Diana, you got anything? Cody, you got anything?
No. Ready for the call. I think we're gonna do Celeste today again.
Okay. We're picking on Celeste week. So hopefully next week she'll get a break. All right, cool. Let's listen to it.
All right.
Hi, Betty. Good afternoon.
May I help you?
Hi, this is Celeste with the Home Buyers for Real Estate Investors. I just wanted to see if you have considered possibly selling.
Hang on just a second. You're
Are you selling?
selling? If I could get out of it what I got in it, it'd be gone tomorrow.
Okay, great. We're looking to buy properties in their area. And may I ask if what can you tell me about the property? Do you have any updates or improvements?
Oh, yes. I bought it. Let me see. I know I wrote a check for $380. I put another $40,000 in it in improvements. Got it fenced. I've had a screened-in back porch. Yeah. So I'd sell it tomorrow.
Okay.
If I could get what I got out of it. Does that make sense? So I got So I got like $420 in it.
$420 if you're asking price.
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't want to list it with a realtor because I don't want to pay 6%.
Okay, that's noted here. And what would you rate your house 1 to 10? 10 being a brand new house.
Yes, it's only 18 months old.
Okay, 18 months old. Got
it. Maybe 8. Yeah, 18 months old.
And I can see here that your property has 3 beds and 2 bathrooms. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Okay.
You're correct.
How about the plumbing and electrical? Have you done any changes?
No.
No changes at all.
Mm-mm.
Okay, got it.
Mm-mm.
And can you confirm your square foot of it? It's 1788.
I was thinking 1800, but 1788 sounds fine. I've got a dining area, a nice kitchen, nice living room. Um, you walk in from the garage and you take a right, and there's a little indented area, I guess, and that's where I have my cats, where their food is and stuff like that. And then the utility room, that's where my litter box is, and for the
Nice.
cats, and my washer and dryer, and let's see what else. Yeah, the other two bed, it's a split bedroom. The other two bedrooms are on the other side of the house, and let's see what else. In the bathroom, a good size.
Okay.
It is a good sized spare bath. Let's just put it that way.
And how about
Hmm.
the status of the property? Are you living in it, or is it rented, or
No, I'm
can
living in it. Living
okay,
in it.
living in it? And
Hmm.
have you found your next home yet, or what's
Well,
the
it's the
schedule?
funny thing is my fiance just left and he said I found the perfect house for us. So
Ah,
I'm
okay.
guessing I'm guessing he's found the perfect house for us. I
Ah,
said, okay,
okay.
when are we going to get married? And he said, let's wait till after Valentine's Day. So anyway,
Well, well, congratulations on your wedding.
well, I don't know how ready I am, but I better get ready, hadn't I?
Okay. And what is it thinking about possibly selling this property?
If I could get what I have in it out of it tomorrow, it'd be gone.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Because my house backs up to Steinbeck Bend, and it is a very, very busy, busy road. I'm
Mm,
guessing at least 10,000 vehicles a day.
okay,
Okay?
I see. Understand. And we can close as quickly or as slowly as you'd like. But
You could
you've
do what?
mentioned we can close as quickly or as slowly as you'd like. And you've
Okay.
mentioned that
And you're,
you want to sell this property as soon as possible, if the right price.
yes. If I could
Mm-hmm.
get, let's see, I paid 380 for it. I've got the canceled check. I put 40,000 more in it for updates. Had the back porch screened in. Had some weird things I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and as soon as my fiance gets this house that he's got his eye on, he said it'll be after. I mean, when did he tell me? After Valentine's Day. Okay,
Okay.
which isn't that far off.
Okay.
Let's face it.
But
So
is there
30
any
days,
30 days? Okay, got it.
30,
But
45
is
days
there
I could be
any
out here.
wiggle room in your price?
Mm, okay, are you listing it or are you buying it?
Yeah. Um. What I'll do now is I will forward this information to one of our property specialists, and they'll do the due diligence and give you a call back. So, what's the best time to call you back? Morning, afternoon?
Oh, let's see. I have a doctor appointment at 2:15 today. Tomorrow I have a ladies' brunch at 10:30. So it takes me till noon, and then I think my fiance and I are going to a movie tomorrow afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. So tell me what you're looking for, because I don't understand that. What are you looking for? What are
We're
you personally looking for?
hmm we're looking to buy properties in this area, any kind of a property. It's a residential or a commercial. But
Why?
if you have, but if you have more questions, we have our team ready to give out information once they call you
Okay.
back. Okay. How about
Okay.
tomorrow evening?
Let's see, is that Friday evening? Yes,
Ah,
Friday
Okay,
evening
Friday evening. And is this the
would be fine.
best
Yes,
number to call?
this is the only number I've got.
And I just want to confirm I'm speaking with Miss Beth Cook. Mm-hmm.
BETTECOOK.
Okay.
It's 24/7. And
Okay.
yeah, it starts at 4:30 in the morning. Okay, but
Got it.
if somewhere in there we could come up with 420, it's yours. Okay. I don't want to pay
That is noted.
6%. I don't want to pay 6% to a realtor. Whatever. Although I have promised my son that he can have this house when I move on, but he doesn't know. He doesn't know I'm engaged, and I know. Surprise, surprise.
But Miss
Yes.
Beth, may I ask, are there any back taxes or mortgage
No.
balances that need to be
No, I
taken
paid
into
cash
account?
for the house. I
Ah,
paid cash for the house. I pay cash for everything. I will pay my
okay.
taxes when they're due at the end of the month. I got the
Mhm.
money to pay. In fact, wherever he sees fit. Uh huh. You know.
Okay. Well,
Uh,
well, Miss Beth, thank you so much for your time today, and I'm going to send this information to our property specialist.
okay.
Okay.
Why are they wanting to buy the property? Do you know?
Uh-huh. You can ask them if they will give you a call back tomorrow evening. Okay.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Okay.
Thank
It was
you.
great talking to you. Have a wonderful
Uh huh.
day.
I will. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right. So let's go. That's a good lead. Vaughn, can you do me a favor? Can you send the leads information over to Allie? Allie just messaged me and said they've already done a call back on this. So lead managers are already on it and it's being passed out. Raise your hand if you guys want to hear the follow-up call to this lead. Or drop them one in the chat. Or something. We got some people that want to hear it. All right. All right. We'll do it. Did you Vaughn, if you could send that to Allie so she could pull up the callback from the CRM system and then we'll play that next. But
Hello, can you hear me?
so that's great job. What do you think of the call? How did you do on the call? What do you think?
I think Shot's internet is delayed. Were you gonna say something, Alondra, about the call?
Yeah, I'm just sitting here and like nobody heard me for like 2 minutes.
No, can you guys hear me? I was saying, Celeste, great job. We're gonna do feedback for Celeste and then we'll listen to the follow-up call, the lead manager call. If you guys
Yeah.
want. I saw a lot of hands go up, so we'll listen to the follow-up call. So,
Celeste,
Okay.
yeah,
Hello.
maybe my internet's bad. Cody, if you could take over.
yeah. Celeste, great call. What's your feedback for yourself on that call?
Yeah, as what I heard from my recordings, Beth Cook, I see. Beth Cook is I think she is an interested seller here, and as what I checked on Zillow earlier about her property, she because she was asking for 20,000, and then as what I have a check on Zillow, her property's estimate is 380, I think. hmm And then her motivation is just for the right price and about the busy road.
Yeah.
And also the timeline is 30 days.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good. Those details on the call. And as far as what your conversation that you had with her, what do you think about your actual conversation that you had with her?
Yeah, the beginning of the call is that, and I have to make sure that I asked her about the four pillars because she is not in a hurry, because sometimes the sellers was in a hurry, so I was just forget to ask the four pillars for some sellers. And then for this Beth Cook, I was gathered information like the condition of the house, like um about the updates or improvements that she made for this property.
Yeah. She was really forthcoming with details about the property, right?
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. So a couple things on this call. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's all I can say
Okay,
about
very
my
good.
call.
A couple things on this call. One thing is everybody's noticing, it's in the chat and everything, is she's very, very forthcoming with the information. She sounds like she really wants to sell, like very motivated. She kept saying she'd sell it tomorrow. She had the right price. She still wants to get the money that she put into it. So, having made calls for a little while and people are kind of skeptical. I mean, it could be a good call. It could be a real lead. But it's almost sounding too good to be true. But it's that's a possibility with it, which is very, very forthcoming with information about that information. Some of those details that you were trying to get, some of the 4 pillars. What the general feedback I would have for you on this call, there's a few different places, several different places where she would say something and you wouldn't acknowledge it. You would kind of just go on to the next part of the script, which again, I'm calling this out just for your feedback and for everybody's benefit. It's easy to do that when you're new. You kind of get nervous. You just want to get all that information. So you were getting it. A lot of the some of the information you asked for, she kind of given to you either directly or if you read between the lines, meaning kind of interpret some of the things that she was saying. Like in the beginning of the call, she said she wrote a check for 380 and then put another 40 into it. Now those were thousands of dollars. She's like wrote a check for $380,000 to buy the house and then put 40,000 into it for the improvements. Just that my feedback on that is active listening. So be listening to her. Take a pause when you ask a question, let her answer, then listen to her answer and kind of process it. It's a challenge. It's a challenging skill to develop sometimes, but it'll come with practice. Doing that, you'll be able to get more information. You'll get some of the information that you're looking for in those 4 pillars without it being like a checklist, like you're going down the checklist. Because she did say a couple of things, and some of this feedback is for more lead management. She did say a couple of contradictory things, especially towards the end of the call. She kept saying how she would want to sell it, but then she did promise her son that he could have the house when she moved out, and he doesn't know that she's engaged, and all these other little details that she mentioned. All in all, great call. You're doing very well with this in speaking to them. Great intro on this call. And I think just with more practice, I believe with more practice, you'll start getting into more of the jargon, some of the words that people say and use, and you'll kind of understand, be able to interpret that a little better and know what they're saying. And again, though, all in all, a really great call.
Great, Cody.
Thanks, Cody.
Yeah, right on.
So I got a couple bits of feedback for you. We'll keep the feedback on this call tight and short because we're going to listen to the other one. But I want to play a quick game while I start giving my feedback. Let's play that whole deal or no lead or no lead game. If you guys think this is a hot lead, this is a lead, like this is a real call, drop in the reactions bar, drop the green check mark like this. And if you think she's punking us and she's on the DNC and she's just messing us, click the red X. So in the reactions bar at the bottom of your screen, you guys go ahead and let's take a little poll here. While we're doing that, I'm going to so that's your feedback. Great call. I can already see improvement even in your first week here. So fantastic job taking the feedback that you're getting here and implementing it on your calls. She mentioned something real quick. This falls under like active listening. You'll get better at this like the more we point these things out. She said 18 months ago. Is this a new build? She just bought it brand new 18 months ago. She bought it 18 months ago. Why that's important is if we can figure that out, if it's a brand new build, that saves you a lot of questions, right? You don't have to ask about condition because it's a brand new build. Like If you guys remember last night's role play that Cody and Graham were doing, I mean, I messaged Cody and I was like, this is literally like the role play you did last night. Like it sounded like the female version of Cody's role play. It's crazy. It's canning how similar these two calls were. So that's a good spot to just ask a good follow-up question, right? Based on active listening. As she said 18 months ago, like, oh, 18 months ago, nice, validate. So was that a new build? You just bought it brand new, or you bought it 18 months ago? Oh no, the house is 20 years old. I just bought it 18 months ago and I did some renovations and I spent 40 grand on it, or whatever. It'll get them talking. Cody nailed it. I wrote down the same thing. As soon as people start talking, guys, let them talk. We're not going to learn anything from anybody, about their situation or what they're looking to do if we're talking. We can only learn about what their situation is, what they're looking to accomplish, and all that good stuff if they're talking. And you guys try to remember that 70-30 rule. We want them talking 70% of the time, and we're going to talk 30% of the time to the best of our ability. How we're going to do that is validate question. Just the better you get at validate question, I guarantee you the better your calls will go. Celeste, I want to give you a kudos for asking for motivation, because I thought I had the motivation when she said my boyfriend or fiance, whatever, bought a new house, we're moving over there and da. Then you asked the question, why are you selling? And we got a whole different answer, right? As far as, oh, it's backed up against a busy street, it's noisy, there's at least 10,000 cars that must drive through this place, da. I was about to give you feedback that said, again, active listening. She kind of already hinted at it, but I was wrong. And kudos to you for asking. And then now we got even more to the story. Here's the big one, guys. Everybody in the room, because this is a question that's going to come up from time to time. It's a pretty popular question. What are you going to do with the house? Why are you buying the house? What are you guys going to do with it? These type of questions. It's a great job, Celeste, of passing that, like deflecting, right? We call it deflecting over to acquisitions because they are infinitely qualified to answer that. But what I do want you guys to answer is, we either buy and fix and flip houses, or we buy them and then hold them and we rent them out, or we have it turned into an Airbnb. We have a number of different exits. And I don't know what we're going to do with this particular house. That's not my department. My job is just to call and see if you've thought about possibly selling. And if so, just get a little bit of details and pass it up to our property specialist. But if we completely sidestep the question, it sounds a little shady. Like, okay, you don't know like what your company does? Like, what are you talking about? So always the answer is we're either going to fix and flip it, or we'll buy it and hold it and then rent it out, or do a hold strategy on it. But that's not my department. I'm not sure. So the property specialist that you're going to talk with next will be better equipped to answer that. I just wanted to see if you've thought about selling. We are interested in this area. If you're looking to sell, we're looking to buy. Confidently want to get some sort of variation of that out there to put that question at ease and not have them spooked. So let's say I have a question for you. You mentioned you looked it up on Zillow, 420. What can I get a little bit more? Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Can I help me understand what your thought and what you meant by like that price?
Because usually if I spoke to a seller, I just checked first their property on Zillow so that I can confirm to them about the beds and the baths in the property.
So the price was important because you were trying to just verify compared to Zillow. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I just need to check if the asking price of the seller is far out away from the Zillow is estimate. Is that what I want to see or to check? That's why every time I spoke to a seller, I make sure to check it on Zillow first.
Yeah, which is great. And she was a little overpriced, right? In your opinion?
Yeah.
But so back to active listening, and Cody touched on this. So the lady mentioned she paid $380 for it, but then she put 40,000 into it. So if we add 380 plus 40, we get exactly 420, which is what she wants to get out of it. and she even said that at the beginning of the call. I just want to get out of it what I put into it. And I don't want to list it with an agent because I don't want to pay their 6%. And I don't want to da 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 da. And that's what made it exactly like the role play from last night, which was I don't have equity, right? And I don't want to pay the agents because I don't want to come out of pocket and I don't want to lose money on this house. So if I can get what I put into it, get out of it. So so we played a little game here. Okay, we got 11 green and 0 red. So I don't know. Diana, were you even you say it's the lead. Okay.
I was going to say as well, it's interesting about the traffic. I saw it as one of my famous loose threads, as it were, because I'm thinking pad splits. If you've got that much traffic, it sounds like you're downtown, you may be on the bus line. I would like to know how big the property is to explore that pad split. I mean, Cody does pad split. He might have. I'm kind of curious if Cody thought that as well. So a few more little questions there, And she did repeat that 420. When you look at prices on Zillow, look at the neighborhood range rather than just the specific house, because she did put 40,000 into the property. So it may be well worth that as long as she didn't go over the neighborhood range. So that's my feedback on that.
And I am looking at the Zillow here because I got the QA to send me the address. It's actually 387.7, so it's actually closer to 390. And there was no price change last 30 days, but I don't think she's far off. I don't know. I guess we'll find out more. But all right, so nobody thought she's punking us. Nobody thought, because I just read a lot of comments and I'm like, oh, I don't know, you guys are hearing something I'm not. Maybe I'm giving her too much benefit of the doubt here or something.
No, I think it's a lead. I would just say to just kind of be careful a little bit, because it did sound like I don't know, it sounded like very, like Cody said, a little bit too good to be true, and she sounded like she was kind of waiting for the call in a way. But it could be a lead. It definitely sounded, like something worth.
For some of the newer people, you guys elaborate on that. Diana, Cody, you guys elaborate on why too good to be true is a bad thing.
Well, it's not necessarily I mean, you're just skeptical, right? I mean, if somebody's so eager to sell, there's a reason for it. There's a reason for everything. So if she is in fact, which she seems like she's a legitimate seller, but why do you want to sell? So why are you ready to sell tomorrow? No, like there's no, there's a reason people are like, yeah, I'll sell. We can close in 30 days or 60 days when I find a house, whatever. No rush, because there is no rush. So that's why it's 30 or 60 or 90 days for somebody to go, yeah, I'll sell it tomorrow. Maybe the rush is she wants to get married and move on with her life with her new her fiance, or maybe she wants to hurry up and sell it so her son doesn't beef it. That's another thread we could have pulled on with her son being an influencer, on this decision. So it's just like, what's the story behind why she's so ready to sell, and what else is going on? Like what's wrong with his property? You know what I mean? She bought it 18 months ago. What's what changed in 18 months? Nothing changes. You don't make a real estate decision and change it like that in 18 months unless it's a fix and flip gone wrong, or something like that. You buy and hold real estate. So I just want to know usually. So what's the rest of the story is what I'm thinking as far as too good to be true.
The red flag that comes up for me is when she starts questioning why we want it. Why would you want my property? Why? Most people don't care what you're going to do with the property. If you give me my price, I don't care what you do with it. You can make a music park for all I care. As long as I get my price, who cares? And so when they start questioning why would you even be interested in my property, that always kind of a red flag, kind of gives you caution. You're like, why do you care what I do with it if I give you your number you're wanting? And so that's always just a question mark for me, is why would it be their worry what I do with it as long as I give them the money they're interested?
I'm gonna put you on the spot right here. We're gonna do a flash pop quiz. So how do we overcome that, or what do we ask, or what do we do in that situation?
If they ask me that situation, I go, well, there's multiple things we do with a property. If the property needs a little love, we'll give it we'll do a fix and flip, and we'll either try to we'll either sell it at that point. Sometimes we'll rent it out, long term, short term, just depending on what we want to do. So a lot of time, it just depends on what the situation is. Your property sounds like it's pretty good, so we'd be looking at either a buy and hold or a midterm or short term rental in your area. Just depends on what we can do. But every property has a story that we might be able to do something to make it worth our while. So we're always interested if you're interested in selling.
Okay, I like that. So great. That's the overcoming the objection. Anything else? I want to plant the seed for everybody in the room here.
When
This
you mean
reminds me of another scenario from a very common, somewhat common, not very common, but somewhat common thing that we get from tired landlord lists.
I'm not following the path you're wanting me to go down, Sean. I'm sorry.
That's why we're here. I want to enlighten you guys, plant the seed,
Sure.
and then if you like it, you run with it.
As I say, I've already thought a pad split because of the traffic she mentioned. That's more about the location, neighborhood, and explore
That's
that
your exit.
option.
Yeah, so that's your exit. So that goes into like, depending on we're either gonna fix it up and flip it, or we'll buy it and hold it and use one of our exit strategies on a buy and hold. So here's what you guys can do to learn more about that, to see if she's, because TJ, you started this with saying I don't know if she's like punking us, or like why do you care, right? So here's the right way to ask that question. So first thing, address it by saying, well, I'm not sure yet, right? We need to do our due diligence. We're either going to fix it and flip it, or buy it and hold it and use one of our exits. Not sure. That's not my department. We'll be happy to elaborate on that once we learn more about it. But can I ask you, is it important to you if we flip it or hold it, or do you have a preference on what happens with the property? Force them to answer the question. If it's a question in your mind, force them to answer it then in a polite way. Like, that's a very nice, calm, and polite way to validate question. No, I was just curious. I don't know. It's a new house. It's only 18 months old. Like, what are you guys going to do with it? I don't understand how you're going to make money. You're an investor. You're going to just buy it, move in. Well, yeah, we actually have multiple ways that we buy properties, and this is a bit of a unique situation. That it's not that unique, but we do have tools in our tool belt that would fit and create win-win here. Again, that's not my department, but as you guys, the callers, as you guys get better and better, and you pick up more and more of this, like Jose here, he's chomping at the bits for a lead like this. He would have. He would have. He put it in the chat. This is a super hot lead. He's tagging hot leads for other people now. If it's a question to you,
100%.
think of. I know, bro. Yeah, we already know.
I had a caller once that a couple of times, I feel like, and I don't know if it's because I have a California accent or something, and they can hear it, because they're like, where are you calling from? And I'm like, and I made the mistake once of saying I'm here in California. It's like, I will not sell to anybody in California.
Yeah.
And then another time, the guy's like, are you some sort of investor? And they're like, I want this to go to somebody who's going to live in it. So that was their like, right away.
What do you say to that one? I want somebody to live in it. Great.
Well, that's what we're, and I try to like say like, well, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get it so we can make it. We're in the business of filling houses, but they, I know what they mean. You know what I mean? Like in their mind, they're like, oh, I want somebody local from here to keep it here.
Yeah. That's why we, just so everybody knows, you guys just heard it. This is exactly why when people say, where are you calling me from? We just keep it short and simple. 2-word answer. We're local. And then quickly hit them with another question, because I'm telling you, you guys are like, oh, I don't want to lie to people. I don't want to deceive them. I don't want to. Okay, well, yeah, see how far that gets you, because people are not comfortable doing business with people that are halfway across the country or halfway across the world, for that matter. Right? So we're local, because even though you're not local, that house is going to end up in somebody local's hands. And not only that, but to Ed's question and feedback here, a family is going to live in that house. I guarantee you. Like, that's what's going to happen. We're not going to turn it into a convenience store. Guaranteed. A family is going to live in that house. That's what we do. All right. We're either going to fix and flip it and sell it to a family, or we're going to, fix it up if it needs it and then rent it out to a family.
Well, technically, when you say we, you're not lying at that point because it's you and someone else. And
It's always-
whoever you're working with is
Yeah.
the local person. So even if you're not in that area, whoever you're working with is the local. So when you say we are local, you're not lying. You're saying that someone I work with is local. Might not be me, but someone I work with. So we are local.
Always. Yeah. You never heard me once say I'm going to flip this house. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. One, because of that. Now I'm not lying because me and my whoever the partner is that's going to buy it, even if it's just we're dispoing it, right? They're now our partner in this thing, right? Because it is a partnership. We did the first half, which is pull the list, call it, generate the lead, follow up, get it contracted. We held up our end of the bargain. They're going to pay us an assignment fee for doing all that work and taking all that risk and doing all that. And then they're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to hold up their end of the bargain, which is fix it, flip it, rent it, do whatever they're going to do to hold up their end of the bargain. So it's always we. Like Pace says, you can't do a deal by yourself. You can try really hard, but you're not going to get a deal done by yourself. You have to have at least two people to get a deal going. So it's usually multiple people. But yeah, so just that feedback there, TJ, because great question, great point. And it's do you have a preference? Because with tired landlords, a lot of times when a landlord has had a tenant live in their house for 5, 10, 15, 20, I think the most I've heard is like 20, 21, something like that years. They and I've heard this multiple times. They're like family to me now. Right. So you on that one, this is where I learned this. What that little nugget that I just dropped for you was it came from the tired landlord list. I've heard it enough times where we upped our game and realized ask them like, well, I don't know what we're gonna do with it, but I mean, wow, 18 years they've been living there. What would you like to see happen with them? So we buy this property. Well, I want to see them stay here. What I don't want is you guys to come buy it and then upend them and kick them out, and this and that and blah blah blah. So keep that on your guys' radar. All right, Allie, you got that call ready?
I don't. It's 25 minutes.
Oh, damn. All right, guys. We're gonna cliffhanger you. We're going to listen to that that call on Monday. So you're gonna have to tune back in on Monday if you want to know. To be continued.
Love it.
And there is a $5 entry fee to get in Monday night as well. You can Zell it to us.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. But we'll listen to it Monday night. All jokes aside, we'll listen to it Monday. We'll see how the lead manager call went. 25 minutes. I'm interested to know because I think this is a good lead. The reason I think it's a good lead is because she just bought it 18 months ago. I'd love to know if it's a new build or not. I guess I could. Yeah, year built 2022.
2020.
It's a new build. So, and I guess you know what? As I'm giving that feedback, Celeste, you could literally have just looked that up like I just did. As you're looking at it, then I guess you don't even. That's a question that doesn't need to be asked because it's right in front of me, right here. So maybe you didn't ask it for that to give you credit on that. But this could be a good lead and on creative, and it's not even sub 2, which is amazing. It could be owner finance if she just needs a chunk of money down, and then she's willing to carry the rest for us. So, well, we got a little bit of time left. I feel like I hogged the show, so I'm going to pass the mic over, and then you guys can do some Q&A or role play or whatever you guys want there. Diana, Cody, Graham, DJ.
So I think we still have enough time to at least listen to 7 minutes of that call or the follow-up call, or we can listen to a short call from
Let's listen to it. If you got Vaughn, if you have a short call, or Elvie, I don't know who's running the calls. If one of you girls has a short call from one of the newer team members, let's calibrate a quick call with one of them.
Yeah.
If anybody has a question, just to fill the dead air, please ask on the feedback we gave, or about the call, or about something real estate related.
We don't really have a short call from our newest team members, but we do have a short call from Matthias. I think he's here.
Yes.
It's a bit over a minute.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Yeah, let's roll. Cool.
Do it.
Thanks. Here we go.
Yes. Was this Valerie? Valerie Copeland?
Sorry, wrong call.
Yes, hello?
Hi, is this Josie?
Yes.
Hi, Josie. This is Matias with the Home Buyers Network. I was calling about your property on 2609 Avenue.
Well, I'm not ready to sell it yet.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, would you be considering selling maybe in 6 months or so?
Probably so, yes.
Probably so. All right. Do you mind if we give you a call back then in 6 months?
Oh, sure.
All right.
You could probably call me back before then or whatever.
Okay.
But,
What time are you looking for us to call you back?
I'm not sure just yet. I'm waiting on a few other things, and so then I get it in the process of doing it. Maybe try me back in about 2 more months.
2 more months. Will do, Josie. Thank you for your time. You have a good day.
You too.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Matias, you there, brother? All right.
Yeah, I'm here, Cody.
Tell me, Dime, what do you think about your call?
Oh man, I I wasn't getting anything, and then she answered, and my heart started pounding,
Yeah.
started racing, and yeah, man, I needed to pace myself a little more on that call.
Yeah. Good job, brother. Hey, what you're talking about, that happens to all of us. Edward's is nodding his head. You get call after call after call, hang up, no connect, wrong number, F you, F you, F you, F you. Yeah, I'm interested to sell. Huh? You are? you want to hold on. Wait a minute. Are you sure you want to sell? That's kind of what happens, right? That's why we do this, and that's why you're here. So this is gonna help inoculate you to that first shock of somebody wants to sell. But yeah, you just roll right into it. You didn't sound too nervous or anything, you sounded like a little bit like you hadn't done it or something, but you sounded pretty sure. Like, I like the tone of your voice. Okay, that's good. That's not something that you can easily learn, is your tone of your voice, your sound, your voice, you're stuck with it. But in the beginning of the call, the last couple calls we listened to, the way it starts out is like, hey, is this Josie Miller? They're like, yeah. And then you go, hey, this is Matias with the Home Buyers Network, and you roll into your intro. These calls that we've heard, I suspect some of the calls that don't connect or you don't get through, it may be because of your intro. So that intro, brother, I would smooth it out. Just as soon as you feel yourself getting caught in that hello, 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 hello thing where the phone connects, you don't know if it's connected. Once the phone connects, that person on the other line has probably already said hello once, 1.5 or 2 times because of the little delay in connecting the call, your internet speed, and all that. So as soon as you hear it, it's clicked, made that beep, and it's ready to go. And you could say, hey, hey, Josie, hey, Bob, and if they go hello, just go repeat your intro again. If they interrupt you, you know what I mean? If you're like, hey, this is Matias with the hello. Yeah, hey, Josie, this is Matias with the Home Buyers Network. We're calling about your property on Main Street, and just redo it. And that it kind of clears out all the awkwardness and who is this? Why are you calling? What do you want? And it gets you into the conversation. So like I said, I noticed that on a couple of your calls. So smooth out that intro. Okay. The other thing is, try not to interrupt. And I know that you gave yourself your feedback for that. Like, you were a little nervous and you need to slow yourself down. That's just it. I talk kind of quickly too. I'm talking quickly now. Sometimes you start to get out of breath.
Yeah.
Take a beat. Ask a question, take a beat, let them answer. It's not to, be comfortable with that silence. They'll feel that silence. Okay.
Okay.
And then that'll give you time to think, keep you current with the conversation, and what's going on, and not searching for your next question. She said to call back, hey, she immediately said, I'm not ready to sell right now. That totally invites, hey, okay, great. When are you thinking you'll be ready to sell? What's going on with that? What's causing you to be not ready to sell now, but maybe later or whatever it is? You kind of get into that to get her motivation. At the end of the call, you're like, okay, 6 months. Like, can I call you back in 6 months? Like that. That's called bailing on that call because it's uncomfortable. You don't want to be there, and we're all there. Brother, stay in there. When we have somebody on the phone, keep them on the phone. Because she even said, hey, don't call me back in 6 months. She's like, you can call me back before then. You call me back before then, because she doesn't quite know. This is early on in the process, but one of our jobs in this process is to figure out what's going on with these folks and see and help guide them down, walk them down what all their options are and what everything that's going on. So she doesn't really know. She said to call back because she kind of knows, like, yeah, I'm gonna need to talk to somebody before 6 months, because that means she wants it sold and gone, money in her bank or whatever she needs to do in those 6 months, not start the process in 6 months. So she's at least aware of that. So kind of keep that in mind when we're talking to people. There's a rule of thumb some people I use when somebody for a callback time is, if they say 6 months, you cut that time in half and cut it in half again. So if 6 months is 3 months, and 3 months is a month and a half. And if she needs something done in a month and a half, then we need to be doing something with this deal right now. Shaw just put it in the chat, 4 months is now, because it takes time. Title, if there's a mortgage company involved, that lengthens the process. So start thinking in these terms. Real estate, they say with the economics and everything, it's a lagging indicator because it's not quick. You can't just go down and sell your house real quick. I can't sell my house tomorrow if I want it sold tomorrow. I have to have started the process 30, 60, 90 days ago. So, feedback on that, don't be so quick to get off the phone. Stay in there. I know it's uncomfortable, but while we have them, because we might never get them back on the phone. So get them on that phone, get as much as possible. But really good job, brother. I like your tone.
Role play that real quick. Give me let me role play that. Is my internet okay? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey Cody, what time frame are you looking to sell this property?
I'm not ready to sell right now, but probably in about 6 months.
Oh, 6 months. Okay, awesome. Well, hey, we can good news is we can move as quickly or slowly as you want, and we're super flexible on the closing date. But what I'd like to do is just take a couple minutes and get to know, your situation, and get to know about the property, take down some notes, and that way we can start our due diligence process. So we're not the holdup. So if you change your mind, you're like, hey, I want to close in 4 months, or I want to close in 7, whatever it is, we're super flexible on that part. So can you tell me a little bit more about the property? So cut, and we're done here. So Matthias, like that when Cody said don't bail on the call, that's how we want to get our foot in the door and use every opportunity. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, us getting her back on the phone is it's a slim to none chance. And Slim just left town. We're not gonna get that lady back on the phone. I'll tell you right now. Like if it goes back in the queue, the only way we will get her back on the phone is if we get the 4 pillars and then pass it up to the lead manager team, acquisitions, because they are built to do follow-up. Cold callers, the call center is not built for follow-up. Call center is built for brute force. We're making a million bajillion dials. We're getting people on the phone, brute force. We're finding if they're looking to sell, when they're 4 pillar, all that stuff, right? All the stuff we learn in here. So
okay.
Question on that shot.
Huh?
Instead of putting that back in queue, since she expressed interest, initially she was like 6 months. And then I thought I heard her say call back in like 2 months.
4 months. I think she said 4 months.
Sure.
Yeah, she said 2.
Consensus? Is it 2?
2?
Yeah, she later said 2.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So can we just pull the number and import it if it's ours, honestly?
Yeah. This is our lead, and we can definitely do that. But my greater point here is we just caught this one, right? literally because it was a short call and we had a short window to calibrate. Otherwise, this call probably doesn't get calibrated and it just falls into the waste bin and we never talk to this lady again. That's probably what happens if we didn't calibrate it tonight. Right. So I'm just making a greater point for everybody. So Ali, yeah, 100% QA. So Vaughn, if you could flag this and have your team just QA it and send it up to Ali and her team. We can run with it because I think this is a lead, right? Now we just got to figure out the 4 pillars and figure out why and where's she going? What's going on in 2 months? Right? Do you have your next place picked out?
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Because if she's like, no, I don't have an, oh, well, do you need help with that, or what's the holdup? Right? Maybe she already has the next place picked out, but she's like, I need 2 months to pass because of X, Y, and Z reason, and then I can move. Blah blah blah. So many questions. We don't know until we ask and we have that combo. But great feedback, Cody, and great call.
Yeah.
Right on, Matthias. That's just you're doing it though. It's just practice, man. And when you start getting those cues, like everything that Shad and Ali, mentioned, you'll start picking up on that stuff, and then deploying like the feedback that we've given you, and you'll be great, brother. You're doing great, putting in that work.
Thanks, guys.
Think of it like football. You want to run with that ball as far as you can go. Whenever you get anyone on a phone, you want to take the call as far as it will go, no matter where they are in the thinking.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Graham.
Yeah. Matthias, you did the most important thing of all, which is get out there, get on the phones, make the dial, have the conversation, right? And Cody made an extremely important point. Sometimes it gets repetitive, guys. We know how it is, you're making call after call, you're getting hung up, like wrong number, F you, don't call me, da da da. And then all of a sudden you get this sweet old lady and there's like, whoa, you're brain numb. For that, I worked in a call center for 6 years, and oh man, I wish it was like this call center. Because at GoDaddy, they had 10 million customers at that time, and there was no break ever. We had 17 seconds between calls, and there was always a queue, no matter what, always. And it can get numbing, like your brain starts to go numb after 4, 5, 6 hours on the phone. Take a break, guys. Like we are not strict. We're strict about a lot of things, but the breaks we're not strict about, right? If you had a bad call, somebody just cussed you out, you're like, don't just be like, oh, I gotta take a break. Like go grab some water, do a lap around the building, do whatever you got to do. Just relax so that you can get back clear of your mind, because a great opportunity like that one could be the next call. And that next call could be a great lead that turns into a deal that ends up, being a bonus in your pile. Right. So that was, good stuff.
All right. Anybody got anything else? Any other feedback? Any other questions?
I'll be real quick. Tell you, it's good job, man. Yeah, it's like everyone said, it's tough when you get on there and you have so many hard calls. Then when you get one that they're somewhat interested, it's tough to change that gear and listen and do what you need to do. So I definitely get it. A couple things I want to touch on. First thing is when you're doing the intro and you're talking about the address, you can cut the number. That saves you a few seconds. It's something you don't have to read. It kind of gets awkward when you have to go 4, 3, 2, 1. Just say the street name, whatever that is. Hey, Main Street, whatever. It just keeps it a little shorter, a little sweeter, because you only have a few seconds you get to talk to them, and they decide if they're going to listen to you or not. So the shorter you can keep it and get precise, the better it's going to be for you. Other things is you made an assumption with that 6 months. That's assumption question. Don't make any assumptions. Just ask an opening question. Okay, if you were me, when would be a good time to get back with you? They kind of give you time. Okay, before then, and then you kind of go into what Shaw talked about, where you kind of get into what they're wanting. That way we kind of have a little bit more information when we call you back in 2 months or whatever. Other than that, really good, man. Like I said, it just takes time, but you're getting there. Just keep it going. You're doing great.
Thank you.
Great point, TJ. Thanks for bringing that up. I forgot to mention that. So guys, we call that leading, right? I got this from in court. Anybody watch these court movies, these like lawyer movies, right? Where the other lawyer stands up and objection, leading, and then the sustained, Why do they do that in court? Because it's psychological. Like I'm not even joking about this part. The reference is kind of funny, but it's very serious. They don't allow lawyers to lead the what do you call it? What do they call the person that sits up there that's testifying?
The witness.
The witness, thank you. The lawyers can't lead the witness because it's very easy to leave a breadcrumb and then people will follow you. If you drop enough hints, people will. Quick example, like in this one, right? Oh, hey, Cody, you looking to sell in about 6 months? Yeah. Because if she had 4 months and I threw 6, she's just going to be like, whatever, close enough. But it's not close enough. Like I need to know the answer. So that's why they don't let it happen in the courthouse. That's why we don't want to do it here, right? Just ask the question, let the true answer come. This is the beauty of conversation. If you ask somebody a question, if they don't have like something in their mind, or whatever comes to mind is usually what they're going to say, right? So ask the question and then just be quiet, let them answer, and then whatever happens, just listen and see, where it goes from there.
Yeah, it sounded like she was gonna start opening up or start saying something, but then I interrupted her and it kind of shut her down.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, we've all done it. We all start somewhere. You'll get better and better at it. You keep showing. I see you in here like consistently, and that's the number one thing is consistency. Right? Nobody was born a natural closer, but we can all develop that skill if we want it bad enough. So
that's right.
Shot, I've been sitting on the edge of my seat for a while. I've been waiting for this DNC fun fact.
Thank you, DJ.
I've been just waiting for this to find out what this is. So please tell me before we let go.
All right. So Diana dropped that message that hey, she is on the DNC. So I just learned, because we're pretty good about fending off the litigators and the nonsense, part of the business. What I just learned was if I own a phone number, and we've all done it, right? We've owned a phone number. If you put yourself on the DNC and then you cancel that number for whatever reason, you're like, I don't want this number anymore. I'm moving. I'm this, that, whatever. That phone number, even though it changes hands and it goes to the next owner, it's still on the DNC, even though the new owner didn't put it on the DNC. I just learned that. So, unfortunately, and then when I learned this, my mind started racing. If we ever get sued, we can countersue and be like, well, the federal DNC is out of whack, and if you guys fix that system, then we would. I started coming up with like all these defense. But it was just an interesting fact that I learned that once you're on the DNC, that number never comes off, and they don't update it, right? So like when TJ, you got your number up here. If you cancel that number, and somebody else is going to pick it up next week, if you were on the DNC, that new guy is still going to be with that number, is going to say that they're DNC when they're really not. So
I'll never be on the DNC. Call me anytime, guys.
Right. He's got his number up there, guys. See if he's selling his house. I heard he might be.
If the price is right.
If I got my number.
Yeah, exactly.
He did mention that he received a call from us or something like that, right, TJ?
That is right. So someone literally used our intro on me the other day. I literally got someone that called, hey, this is Local Home Buyers Network. I was calling about your property. I'm like, whoa, time out. And they're like, I'm like, do you work for Diana? And she's like, yeah. I was like, nuh-uh. I swear. I'm like, I work for the same company. And she's like, oh, okay. And,
so you sell it? That would have been classic. So
anyway, me and Diana digged into it. It wasn't our company. Someone using our intro.
Yeah, well, we're putting the script out there now for free for everybody.
So somebody's using our intro and called me. So I don't know who, but I was like, man, this is such a small world. Crazy.
So guys, get this. So Diana, I don't remember if you remember the story. I'm pretty sure you were with me, and like I shared it with you. So Brandon, it was in New York. You remember the story?
I think I have the video still. I'll show it tomorrow. I mean, Monday. Yeah.
Oh, no way. You have it? I needed that video.
Yeah.
So, long story short, it's another cliffhanger, but one of our partners from last year, a year and a half ago, he's in a store somewhere. I don't forget what he was trying to do. He was doing something at a store, and the guy on the counter at the register answers his phone, and guess who it is? It's somebody trying to buy a house. And guess who's calling? Our team. What are the odds that our partner is in the store and this guy that he's talking to, his phone rings and it's us. And he identified it. He's like, literally like, yo, that's my company. The guy's like, I don't know. What, now he's confused. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, no, that's like, my company is calling you. Like, that's me. And he's like, you're standing here. You're not on the phone. What he's all confused. Diana has the video. We'll play it Monday for you guys. It was awesome.
That is funny.
Yeah.
All
right,
right, a lot of good things to come Monday. That's even more reasons to tune in.
Monday's going to be a jam-packed show for sure.
Maybe we should double the price.
Yeah, I think it'll be $10 the entry for sure. There is a cover charge Monday.
Awesome. Brandon, right at the buzzer. Go ahead, brother. What you got?
Quick question, brother. With it's out of the blue. It doesn't have to do with the current topic, but it's from cold calling.
Yeah.
What is the average amount of owners a V8 on an 8-hour shift should be contacting, like a normal?
Ooh,
like
that's
homeowners, not people, humans.
That's a great question. It's a little bit of a loaded question because there's going to be a lot of variables to it. So first of all, we have to clarify, when you say contacted, what do you mean? Is that number of dials, number of conversations?
Like homeowners reached more than anything, like contacted on an 8-hour shift. And let's say it's a brand new list.
There you go. So that's one of the variables, right? Is how new is the list? And then what your dialer, right? Are you using a 10 line using a 10 line dialer?
4.
Okay, so that's a variable. I don't know. We could pull stats for you for a 10 line. I don't know what it is for 4 line, to be honest with you.
Do you guys call with the 10 line dialer?
We use a 10 line dialer, yeah. Because
oh wow.
We have like 10 people, 12 people on the phones at the same time. So it's very usual for us to have 150, 180, 200 phone
but
numbers.
Each virtual assistant has its own 10
up to 10
line dialer.
Yeah, it's a predictive dialer. So
yeah, because mine goes to 10, but my dialer goes to 10. But I was learning something in regards to the call tools. I don't know specifically if that has to do with the rest of the dialers, but I heard that some laws passed regarding that if your abandon rate is over 1% or something like that, your phone numbers start getting hit. So they recommended me to go into like a 2 or 3 line dialer. I was using like 5 lines at a time. So I don't know how true is that in general, or is that just on call tools? I was just curious. Have you heard anything like that?
It wouldn't be call tools or ZenCall or this or that. It would be the carriers. So they're they're the ones that would care about that, not call tools. Call tools just wants you to
that's
phone numbers.
That's what I was guessing.
So because you're using like I'm assuming you have one VA on your dialer.
I got 2 actually, but each one is on like a 3, and sometimes I bring it up to 4. But because of what they told me, I'm kind of sticking to like 3. So I don't know if you guys hadn't had any problems with bringing it up to like 8 or 7. I'll probably just start doing that then.
We don't have problems. I mean, on a lot of this stuff. But let me show you. I took a screenshot of this today just to show somebody. So this was us earlier today. So if you can see on here, we got 8 people on the phones. You guys see that? 2, 4, 6, 8. Damn, this part got cut off. But here's all the playlists that we're calling, and I got 7 out of 8 people on the phones at the same time, and then one of them just wrapped up 8 seconds ago. So what we do, we watch this screen. I have our data team continuously and constantly monitoring this, and then the reason we have a badass team is because when and this is for everybody that's on the phones, the HR team, the QA team, and the data team, including myself and Diana, like we got a lot of eyeballs on this particular screen all day, every day. So when you guys wrap up, if this 8 seconds, see how it's blue right now, after it hits like 30 seconds or 20 whatever seconds, it's going to turn red. and then they monitor that. And then if that becomes a problem, then they start to flag, you know, those people, and then they monitor what's going on with those people. There's a whole science to all this. I don't think we spend enough time on this side of the business. Trying to get Mike Mahoney in here. Like, I want to teach him a lot of this stuff, and then we can start focusing on that, as he's one of the newer leaders on the squad. So if you guys have questions, bring this up. Brandon, there's a lot to it. This is Zen Call Ready Mode. Call Tools does not have this feature, as far as I know. It's been a couple years since I looked into them, but I really like this particular feature amongst a few other things on Ready Mode, and that's why I went with Ready Mode.
Okay. Cool.
And then the other thing you can do is, I mean, how many leads are you getting? Just real quick, so before we wrap up here, how many leads are you getting a day from those two VAs?
So about three to four, three.
Three,
Yeah,
I
would say more.
And they're both working 8-hour shifts?
Yeah, both of them are 8-hour shifts. But one of them, it's actually 6, because some of my leads that just die down, that never pick up again, I throw them back into like some sort of like a list as well. The ones that they became a lead at one point, and they just stopped responding to me. I call them like 6, 7. I give them like 13 touches through text and calls. And if I don't get a call back, I throw them into like a list for the BAs to call in the first hour, or in the evenings. They alternate, either mornings or evenings, they alternate. So I would say both of them are on a 7-hour shift, fully dialing right on the 4-line dialer. The other time they're doing the callback to see if they can revive any leads.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds like a good system. You want to rotate your list? We'll make a night of it. Maybe I'll be the special guest on a Thursday, and then you guys can ask me a bunch of integrator questions or something. So
awesome, cool. Thank you, brother.
All right, you got it, bro. Yeah. Yeah, all right, cool. All right, good stuff tonight, guys. Great episode. Diana, Cody, TJ, Graham, anybody? You guys got anything before we wrap up?
Nope. That's it. That's it then. That's it for the last meeting for this week. This is Thursday, so we'll be back Monday at 6:30 Arizona time. Same bat time, same bat channel. And we have that cliffhanger, couple cliffhangers. So,
several.
So thanks for coming, everybody. Appreciate you coming out, and have a good night.
Bye, guys. Everybody have a great night. See you guys
Bye,
Monday.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.